Hey, you paying attention? You paying attention? Okay, so it's like 11 o'clock, and I think we got a show we're supposed to be doing. So, you ready for this? Okay, all right then. I'm gonna go ahead and hit. Well, I guess I can't hit start because the clock does it automatically. Some joker set it up like that. I don't know who. I think we need to pay more attention to who we bring onto this show, honestly, because you got some people behind the scenes really, they're questionable, bro. They're questionable. I don't know. It can stay in the 30s. I'm good with it. 20s, 30s. I'm good with it.
I mean, when you got that natural insulation, bro, it's cool. I get it.
Real men come from the north. So we can deal with
Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. That sums it all up. Let's
we can deal with the cold.
I'm saying these names not because they're essentially the best fighters out there, which we can make a case for Shakur Stevenson, definitely. They just look that much better than whoever they fight.
I think you might want to keep this thing on the feet and stay any way possible. Stay away from that guillotine choke. He was squeezing Buddy's face in the last fight and put him out.
Come on, dog. Let's fight.
Welcome to the Fighter Share Report. Hey, how can you not be ready for a show when you hear that voice? Come on, dog. Let's fight. And she means it, too. She means it. I had out in the driveway the other day boxing, and people were like, whoa, isn't it kind of early? It's never too early to knock somebody out. Look, Bellator 256 coming up on what? Showtime. And if I'm not mistaken, it'll be on this Friday, baby. It'll be on this Friday. Yes. Okay. Showtime's got the weekend locked, by the way. They'll understand when we get to the next segment. But Showtime got the weekend locked. Listen,
hey, we're all winners. We're all winners.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to this one simply because I haven't seen Ryan Bader in a while. And guess who he's fighting? Leo Machida. Yes. If you all are just getting into MMA, you may have heard these names in the past as champions in the UFC. Listen, they're still top-notch, top-ranked fighters, but now they're fighting for Bellator glory. So don't just get a chance. Make this opportunity happen. Friday night on Showtime, April 9th. You want to see this. You really want to see this. It's going to be a good fight, bro.
Yeah, and another caveat to that is also that Ryan Bader's a two-division champion. People that don't know, he's currently their heavyweight and light heavyweight champion. So, hey, it's a lot on the line.
Yeah, and he's got a year ahead of him. Because when you look at this light heavyweight tournament, and then you also look at the heavyweights who have just rolled into Bellator, Ryan Bader, yeah, he's got a heck of a year ahead of him. You got Anthony Rumble Johnson in there. You got Yoel Romero competing. Look, it's going to be
overtime Anderson.
Speaking of that, he's on the same card. Corey Anderson versus, I always mess this name up, Let's-Done Yagshimodov. Yeah, but we know Corey Anderson, and this is gonna be the co-main. But bro, here's a name. She was fighting when you got into MMA. Here's a name I know you haven't heard of in a while, and you'll probably associate her with the cabbage. But her name is Julia Budd.
Okay, I'm a fan.
She can fight. That's all I'll say. She can fight. She can fight, and she's fighting. Diana Silva, another one. I mean, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, got good hands. It's gonna be three fights on this card, on the main event card, on Showtime. I'm telling y'all, don't sleep on it. Check your local listings of what time. Friday night, You don't want to miss this card. It's going to be a good card.
Here's an opportunity, bro. I think this is an opportunity for Bellator to do some creative marketing here. If you get Ryan Bader in a heavyweight championship fight and a light heavyweight championship fight in the same year, there needs to be a huge groundswell. I would put as much of my marketing dollars as I could behind that, bro. That is a major accomplishment. And if you want that gap, that proverbial gap that we talk about between the haves and the have-a-littles, bro, they need to really try to figure out a way to get credit with that, because that is an interesting story. Bro, we got to come back to that one day. Ryan Bader, that's impressive. We got to come back to that.
We just hope he keeps winning. Listen, look at the undercard. The main on the undercard, I know you'll remember this name, Liz Carmouche. Yeah. She's fighting Vanessa Porto. Yeah. And also Jessica Borga, who we've also seen in before, versus Talita Nogueira. So it's listen, these are the prelims. You have two female fights, two women's fights on the prelims, the co-main and the main of the prelims. And then you also have a women's fight kicking off the main event. So 3 in a row. You got 3 women's bouts in a row.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have to do too much selling on this, bro. I mean, it's a Friday night. What else are you doing? Tune in, man. Check out a good fight card. We talked about a great fight card they put on last week. That, again, they kind of taking a page out of who's playbook. They're winning with people that you really don't know. And you get in there watching like, man, this is a good fight. Entertaining card. Bellator needs to keep this rolling. But, yeah, y'all ain't doing this on a Friday night. Watch.
And if you are, take your tablet or watch it on your phone. It's on Showtime.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Showtime.
Yes, sponsorships are welcome. Listen, Jaron Ennis versus Sergey Lipinets. Now, I'm just gonna sit back on this one because we've loved Boots Ennis for a while, and this is gonna be Showtime on Saturday night. That's what I'm saying. Showtime's got the weekend locked down. Go ahead, man.
Wow, what can I say? This is a crossroads fight. You know why it's a crossroads fight? Because Jaron Ennis has the respect of not just the PBC fanders, but also the top-ranked blowhards and the Golden Boy nationalists and everybody else, because he is the bill of goods. But guess what? The guy he's sitting across the ring from, he's respected by everybody across all divisions too. Across all promotional lines too. This is a great fight, bro. We definitely gonna learn more about Boots Ennis than we are about Sergey Lipinets. But bro, this could be a better matchup for Jaron Ennis because Lipinets is gonna be there. He is what you want when you got your prospect that you're finally your contender that you're finally trying to turn into a champion, right? This is the guy that you need him to be. And this is a hell of a fight. This is a hell of a task. If Jaron Ennis wins this fight, there is no more in between, guys. There's no more in between, gals. There's no more in between, Fighter Nation. He has to go right after a belt because Sergey Lipinets is that caliber of a fighter. Sergey Lipinets has kind of been fighting on the doorstep of his belt himself. He's also been trying to get there. And unfortunately for him, he ran into Custio Clayton a few months back. And what of a hell of a fight we were treated to on that week, that weeknight, right? Was that a Saturday night fight or was that a Showtime a Showtime Boxing After Dark card? I don't remember, but it was a great fight. We know who Costio Clayton was coming out of Canada. We knew who he was that night.
Here's the funny thing.
Lipinets also showed up. So
Lipinets is also saying that he's 100%. He injured his hamstring in the 3rd round of that Clayton fight.
Okay, hey, either way, look, we saw what he can do. We know how tough of an opponent he is, bro. I'm excited for this fight. I'm as excited for this fight as I could probably be for any fight because this not only is that good of a fight, but this is one of those fights where you get contender prospect matchups that are great. And a win for either one of these guys puts them in the driver's seat for a belt, bro. So, I mean, look.
If I'm not mistaken, because Lipinets won that fight against Clayton, right?
No, it was a draw.
It was a draw because it was for the IBF interim title.
It was a draw. Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I'm really, really excited for this one. I like Boots Ennis. We saw him somewhere, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
It's gonna be. You're right. It's gonna be one of those fights where, to me, it's boxing versus brute. What would you? What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not asking who do you think would win. I just think it's gonna be a classic fight. It's like Lupikus is gonna stand there.
Mesh.
Yeah, he wants to stand there in front of you and hit you. And what's Boots going to do?
Here's the thing, though, bro. We gotta give Lupikus credit for being a good boxer himself. Bro, he's solid. He's a well-rounded fighter. He's just not the physical talent that Jerron Ennis is. Right. And this is where we're gonna have to learn this. So I guess if I could compare it to something, it would kind of mimic what we saw with Jamal Charlo versus Sergey Derevchenko. This is kind of that fight where one guy we know is physically superior, but the other guy has a skill set and enough of a defensive, just good enough all around to where it's just a very good fight. Stylistically, it's just a good fight. It's kind of going to look like that. Now, is the outcome going to be the same? I don't know. Listen, but you got those two different dynamics.
The co-main, you got Thomas Delorme in the co-main for that fight. So it's going to be a good card. You got to get on that card because it's for a welterweight eliminator. Delorme is fighting, oh my goodness, Stasianis.
Oh, the young prospect.
Yeah.
Out of That's going to be a banger. Delorme is a gatekeeper. I think this is a coronation for the younger kid.
Well, if he wins, yeah. Definitely if he wins.
Delorme ain't got much left in the tank, bro.
I got you. I just think it's going to be a good fight.
For sure.
While it's, as you say, it's a good fight until it's not. Listen,
right, there you go.
Tonight on TNT at 10 p.m., ONE FC. I'm telling you, this is an MMA fight this is a card you want to see. Title versus title for the main event. Well, it says the prelims, I think, live on TNT. The main card is going to be at 10. We know Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. Listen, Demetrius Johnson is 27-3-1. 27-3-1 as an MMA fighter. That's almost unheard of. The closest I've seen to him record-wise is Habib, who was 29-0.
Bro?
Yeah.
Ask you a question. Is that just his UFC record? Because I thought he was 34-3-1. I think that 27-3-1 may be his UFC record or his UFC WEC record, but I think he's undefeated in one champ. He's 7-0 in one championship, isn't he?
You're right. They didn't include that on here. So yeah, he is 34. Okay. Good catch. 34. It's even 34-3-1.
Yeah.
And one of those we know he actually won that they gave to Henry Cejudo. So I would even go out on a limb and say he really should be 35-2-1.
Regardless of that, bro, he's never been stopped. Whatever losses he have been split decision losses. So that just tells you, just how great he is. But go ahead.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal fighter. I mean, and look, he's going up against Adriano Moraes, and that's going to be the main event, title versus title. This is going to be, he's going up a weight class. He's the flyweight champ. He's going up a weight. This is going to be.
This is 135. Is this 135?
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
Yes, because I think he was the champ at 125, and he's gone up, as he should, because he's 34 years old.
Actually, wait a minute. The current one flyweight world champion is Adriano. Yeah, he will defend his title against the. Wow. Okay, Demetrius is the flyweight Grand Prix champion. So Adriano has the belt, the main belt. Demetrius has the tournament belt.
Okay.
So now they're gonna combine them.
Got it. So champ versus champ. Okay.
Yeah. And you,
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a fight where we want to see greatness personified. We want to feel like at 34 years old, and a very old 34, that the guy who has been consensus over the last decade, been one of the top fighters throughout all weight classes in all combat sports. This man was the GOAT before John Jones, and had he not had that controversial decision loss against Henry Cejudo and decided to leave the UFC, he would have still probably been there and would still have the lead in most consecutive championship defenses, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
But it happened nonetheless. He moved on. It's okay now because he's still doing great things and he's still showing how great he is. And because of the way we consume content now, because you can get fights whenever, people are still watching him and his legend is still growing. So I'm just pulling for him to have a good performance tonight, man. I hope he wins.
And look, the co-main weight, it's another title fight. The lightweight showdown between Eddie Alvarez, calls himself the Underground King, versus the number 2 contender, Yuri Lupikus. Look, if you haven't seen Eddie Alvarez fight, look him up on YouTube. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to both of these fights. And it's on TNT. It's free. It's at 10 o'clock. The Red Belly was saying, well, I'm going to watch it on the stream. I'm like, dude, he said it can't be live at 10 o'clock. I'm like, it is. It's live at 10 o'clock. They just reiterated it. So it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Demetrius Johnson, we've been talking about him for so long. He's got the record to back up all of it. 34-3-1. That speaks for itself. All right, dude, it's your time.
Okay, yeah. So I know that everybody was expecting me to get on this show today and take my 2 minutes to talk about a fight that happened 34 years ago today. One of the greatest fights that we've ever been witness to, and one of the greatest, and in some eyes, one of the biggest robberies in sports. And that was when Ray Leonard fought Marvin Hagler. And we all know the story of how it ended. Marvin Hagler basically took his ball and went home and never showed up again, walked away from the sport. We never got to see how his career would end because, man, I think if Marvin would have stuck around, we could have had a longer run. But I have something more entertaining to talk about, and it is the hire of one Hubert Davis. If you guys don't know who Hubert Davis is, he is a consummate company man, and I mean that through and through. Go just Wikipedia Hubert Davis and look at him. And if you want to see the company man personified with melanin skin tone, it would be him. If you watch Boondocks, it would be the equivalent of Todd Dubois. It will be one Herbert Davis. And I'm talking about him because he is now, Hubert, he is now the coach of the UNC Tar Heels. What a prestigious honor to be bestowed amongst a black man, not only in sports, but in college basketball lore. But here's something more entertaining. Hubert Davis was rumored to be the guy of one of the greatest rap songs of all time. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up, kids, Life After Death. Go to track number 12 on volume 1. I got a story to tell. If you listen to the record, Biggie Smalls tells one of the greatest stories in rap history about how he basically robbed a New York Knicks basketball player. He was in his house having party time with his wife. The player shows up. Biggie pulls a strap on. The man gives up all his money and he's basically a coward. And we all thought it was about Hubert Davis. Rumor has it was about Anthony Mason. See how perceptions can change on people? Those are my 2 minutes. But now you kids got something to Google. Check it out.
Hey, real quick. Brad and Matt Doherty, are they half black?
I have no idea.
You remember who they are, though, right? They both played for North Carolina, and then Brad played for
Cavs. Yep.
Yeah,
All-Star.
Okay, because they're saying that Hubert Davis is the first black head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels, but I thought Matt and Brad Doherty were mixed, and Matt Doherty also coached for 1 year for the Tar Heels until they could get the coach they have now, right, Roy Williams. Anyways, today I'm talking about one of the greatest rappers who ever lived. And I would say he's in my top. He's ahead of Biggie and Tupac on my list. And that is Earl Simmons, a.k.a. Darkman X, a.k.a. DMX. DMX right now is in a hospital in New York on life support. There are different stories circulating how he got there. that he relapsed, that this happened, that happened. But the point is, DMX was one of the most influential rappers of the 90s and early 2000s. He single-handedly put Rough Riders on the map, and most people feel like took down Bad Boy and some of the other companies that decided they didn't want him. DMX has had a troubled life, but he has always put out great music. And the good side of Daryl Simmons, in a lot of eyes, outweighs the bad side of Daryl Simmons. Or Earl Simmons. I want to call him Daryl Simmons. Earl Simmons. And I ask for your prayers for DMX, that he will recover and, that he'll find his right path again. Because even to this day, nobody else, well, maybe one or two people in the rap game in history, do you know just who they are by the first sound of their voice. And he fits that bill. Bro, I was kind of shook up when I saw DMX on life support, bro.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to the dog, the other dog. I hope he pulls through, man. But boy, sometimes them demons just hard to shake, man.
Hard to shake. Yeah. Well, we don't know what it is exactly that got him on there, but we know he's on life support, and we're hoping that he'll rebound. But if not, he has a. I think his legacy. I didn't realize he had 8 albums out, bro.
Yeah, bro. He had the greatest two to 2.5 year stretch I've ever seen in music history, bro. It was amazing what he did in that 98 to 2002, 98 to 2001 run, bro. That was unprecedented. It's crazy how we think alike, bro. I wasn't thinking about doing DMX. I was just so sad I didn't really want to talk about it in that context. But bro, when I saw Hubert Davis got the job, I was like, wait a minute. Because I remember when that song came out, and then when Twitter was bubbling a few years back, somebody brought that up. I think he had got a job somewhere else. And I was listening to the Life After Death album. I listened to it probably once every couple weeks. And I listened to that song. It's just so funny when you get a record because the story is so vivid. Biggie was such a great storyteller. And now when he got the job, I could picture Hubert Davis running, going to get him out the floor, screaming, please, brother, don't pull this. I can see it all, bro.
I can see that more than Anthony Mason, but yeah.
Me too, but John Stark said it was about Anthony Mason. And Mason gone now, so he can't defend himself.
Yeah.
So I don't know, bro.
That's interesting because, anyways, look, shout out to my mom. Thank you for chiming in. Good morning, sunshine. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to my daughter who's with my mom. So I know they're having fun. Shout out to Pops, who's in the park right now taking pictures, probably listening to the show. Listen, shout out to Fighter Share Nation. Shout out to Miss Darlene, who's in the hospital. Prayers go out to her.
That's our time. With y'all tomorrow. Peace.